up, you guys? Jay here, just gonna show you my custom arcade that I built. Took me a while, maybe like a month to 2 months to build. I'll leave a link for a lot of the things that I used. I used an X Arcade double joystick, sort of joystick for it. It might have been a little harder than using other joysticks, but I just had ordered already and I already had it, so I just kept with it. I would have like lit up buttons, but it is what it is. The monitor I got, my girl had it. It was old. This was actually her TV monitor. Now it's like the smallest TV in our house. When I first met her, this is all she had. Now we have like TVs everywhere. So we use this one for the arcade. The computer part of it is made with a Raspberry Pi. I'll leave a link also to a video on that kind of shows kind of how it's done for those of you that's not familiar with retro gaming with Raspberry Pi. But this is my baby. This is my favorite retro gaming console that I have in the house. I have a lot of old games on other consoles that I have, but this is the one where I go and people come over and we can just go and just play and like used to in the arcade, except you don't need quarters. You just add credits like that and start playing. But I'm gonna go get a little closer to the screen and so you can kind of see the list of games and the emulators that I have on here. So let me do that right now. So here we have Pac-Man playing, but we can go back by hitting the two sides. Here are my favorites. I could go back further from here. So it's a list of favorites. Final Burn Alpha, some of the best arcade games right there. I have 1,316 games in there. We have Game Boy Advance, which I have 408 games. I don't really play that much. Here's MAME, which a lot of people are familiar to who know about emulators. I have like 560 games there. Sega Mega Drive, basically all the good Sega games, 685 games in there. Neo Geo Classics, which I have 137 games available on there. Nintendo Entertainment Center, that's like the old Nintendo, 791 games. That might be all the games, I'm not sure. Pixel Desktop, which I'm not sure what that is actually. It might have just came with the operating system that I got. These are ported games I moved over. Mini S, I liked a lot of PSP games, so I downloaded a bunch of those. PlayStation games, I got 22 games, like my favorite PlayStation games. Some of them that I Crash Bandicoot, like games like that. Super Nintendo, I love Super Nintendo, one of my favorite game systems. So there goes that system. We could go into favorites. You can actually go through. I also have Dreamcast. I didn't put any games in. I have 2 games in Dreamcast, but I didn't put too much games. I kind of just want the retro old games on here because I have like a lot of the newer ones elsewhere. I added 65 of my favorite games to here, so we can go directly here to play, or if you'd like to go into one of them, like let's say Nintendo, just click on Nintendo, and there you go. You get a brief preview of the game, whatever it is. We got Addams Family. I don't know if you remember that game. I really don't remember it too much. I know people remember this, Aladdin, maybe, especially the one for Super Nintendo. You got, what do we got here that people will know? Bases Loaded 3. I don't know if you guys mess with Bases Loaded. I love it. Got Bases Loaded 4, Bases Loaded 2. You got Batman Returns. I know you guys probably remember Batman Returns. Let's try some, what is it called? We got Castlevania, Clash. We'll do some, where is it? Contra. I know you guys remember Contra. Up, down, left, right, A, B, select, start. If you guys ever played that. But yeah, so this is pretty much how it is. So you'll start one player. We have 2 joysticks here. I'll show the joysticks in a bit. Just want to show like one of the games running, the Nintendo game or whatever. You got your shooting going on. You can jump. It's pretty much, I even have a retro Nintendo control which you can use, or a Super Nintendo control. I just don't really like them all hanging everywhere right here, so I kind of just stick with the joysticks. I mean, you can have just as much fun, although it is more authentic using the retro Nintendo controllers. But you get the gist of it. So that's Contra. I'm sure a lot of you played before. Oh, a game I used to really love on Nintendo. I'm not sure if you guys know about this, but this game right here. Blades of Steel. That's still one of my top hockey games. I don't know why, it's just so simple, easy. There's only 2 buttons on Nintendo, so it's easy and fun to play. So let's go back. We go to, let's say, Super Nintendo. And there you have all your Super Nintendo games. We'll go to Super Mario 3. There's a shortcut to get to the actual letter, but we'll just go through the list like this. So we're gonna go to Super, or even Street Fighter. Street Fighter was good. Street Fighter 2 Turbo. Everybody loves Street Fighter. I know I did. This is my favorite game of all time, period. I just love this game. On console and on, I prefer the arcade, which I have the joysticks, obviously. I even had the arcade version. There's the Super Nintendo version, but it's still the same. Pretty much the same. It's still fun. I should say that. Get your Ken going. This is just a really good system, fun system to play. You got two people like get really close to each other. You actually touch elbows while you're playing, and you know, shove somebody, you know, to get your freaking point across. They think you're don't mean serious. Look at Zangief just doing what he usually do. Everybody knows the trick. You just jump and stay kicking in this corner, and he just keeps on coming towards your kick. Maybe. But we know I'm a fireball king right here. Let me just throw out Ayuka to finish the job off. Okay. I gotta fireball him to death. He's gonna kill me. And that's how it's done. So yeah, that's that. Then we got some of them don't have previews. I didn't add them in. Maybe they do. Well, here you go. You got Castlevania. Crash Bandicoot. Everybody remembers Crash Bandicoot from PlayStation. We could start Crash Bandicoot if you want. I was going to add an Atari, but I just really don't play Atari too much anymore. All the systems that are on here are the systems that, you know, I play and I will play. So obviously I'll play this one. I have the new and improved mastered version for the PlayStation PS4, the $40 pack with all the 3 games. Even though I have them on here, look, they're just fun to play. And you might not, I might not play them on here anymore because I have that, but it's just good to have. I mean, I like some PlayStation games, and I don't mind playing them on this system. So you'll kind of see how it runs. And I'm going to go over the actual stuff for the arcade next, and then we'll get into like videos and stuff like that or whatever. So this one, as far as this one or PlayStation, some games the frame rate's not going to be all the way there. But all the other systems, all the other retro system games runs perfectly fine. And some games on here too run fine. It just depends on the game. This one just probably requires a lot more stuff. Like I said, I have a better Crash. Street Fighter runs good on here, or even Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3, which is one of my favorite ones, Twisted Metal. But it's more for nostalgic reasons. I don't really play them, like I said. I go more for the retro, the Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Sonic, the arcade games, Final Burn Alpha, like these games right here. I like a lot of these games. A lot of them don't have the previews and everything. I could download them, but it was taking up too much space, so I didn't. But yeah, it's just a fun system, and this is basically my arcade that I have, and I play, and I just enjoy. I enjoy like all these games. So let me go over the joysticks and everything on here, then show you also the Raspberry Pi, how that looks. So hang on. So here is the joystick that I got. It's the X-Arcade double joystick. They have another one with like a ball here that you can roll, I guess, to play like the golf games or something like that, or bowling, I'm not sure. But I just opted for this one. It was a little bit cheaper and it works. And if we go, and there's the monitor. There I have that. I have a custom little shelf I built for it. And if you go under this shelf, where the brains of it all, the box, it's right here. Is this thing right here. This is a Raspberry Pi. This is the small computer running the whole thing. I might eventually upgrade to an actual computer and do the whole MAME thing, which will be able to handle all the graphics more. But until I do that, I'm not really going to change this. I don't mind it. I like the retro games. I still might go into the newer ones like Street Fighter 4 and stuff, like all the modern arcade shooters, and I kind of want to eventually incorporate Time Crisis, get the guns and everything. But for now this works, and it's retro games. A lot of people come and they're like, oh, you know, you could play Pac-Man, you could play Galaga, maybe all the Donkey Kong, the old games that, you know, you played while you were a kid, and this is kind of brings it all back. And we have parties, people come and try it out and everything. It's just a lot of fun. So I'll leave links in a lot of the stuff that I used, and you guys check it out. Let me know what you think and everything. I might end up upgrading this, the actual build that I have, to other games. I don't know. I haven't really been on it as much. I've been working on other stuff, and I just come back here mainly to play these retro games, which I very much enjoy. I love all these, all the games I have on here currently, and I think it does justice. It's good enough for me for now, you know. Like I said, I will upgrade maybe later with a computer or something, but anyways, thanks for checking out. I like seeing other people's arcades, you know. Leave some comments. Let me know what's your build like. If you use the Raspberry Pi, do you use this controller? Because it took me a long time to set this controller up. I finally got it working, but whatever. It is what it is. So check y'all in the next video.